Hi everybody, just a little update on what's been going on my boat here. And I'm going to show you my little dinghy, which I picked up recently. It's a Boston Whaler, 14 footer. So let's start with the dinghy. Got a brand new 25 horsepower, fuel injected Yamaha. I had to build this plate on this one here. You can see this because this dinghy, the previous owner, Boston Whaler, makes these for long shafts. Here to there's the long shaft. He had cut it down, made it a short shaft. So I restored it. You can't really see it in the picture so much. But basically, I filled it in, put a plate on it. You can see this is a solid steel plate. Bolted it through, motor bolts on that. Boat's in good shape. I just got to put the seats back in. And there's my new dinghy for the boat. I like Boston Whalers. They're double hulled, foam filled. You can cut them into 3 sections. All 3 sections float. They're really solid boats. And I got my classic little Fox, sexy Fox on it. So that's my latest dinghy. You guys know how I go through so many dinghies experimenting. That's the latest one. We'll see how that goes. Next, back to the big boat. So what I did on this boat is I took out 10 through holes. Final count, I've got the numbers right. It's 10. There were 10 through holes. This boat was built back in the 80s, 84 I believe. And whenever you needed water to go to the toilet, so you could flush the toilet and the toilet flushed out, all of that was done underwater. All of that's been eliminated. The toilet's flushed into the holding tank, the fresh water's from the holding tank. All of these through holes, they were down here below water. You can see that there's patches here. They took them out, filled it with fiberglass, covered it, moved everything above the water line. If you can see down here, I'll point it out. So you can tell. There were 2 down here. They're gone. The shaft has been cleaned. These parts have been cleaned. Again, there's through holes over there have been taken off. They've gone. They're completely eliminated. You can see patches over here. They're gone. There's no more through holes there. Basically, anything that's below the water line, if the hose comes off and it breaks, you'll sink. So I've eliminated that. More stuff on the back. I polished and cleaned the props. I took the shafts out because I'm replacing them with upgraded parts, which I'll show you in a moment outside. The rudder, I've increased the rudder size. These rudders are not sailboat rudders. They're made when you have prop thrust blowing over them, you have control, but if you bring the engine back to neutral and you don't get that thrust, you lose control. I talked to another guy, he said he increased these by a couple inches and it made a big difference. So I went a little more, I increased them with G10. This is extremely strong fiberglass material. It's stronger than steel according to the manufacturer. You can't break it. That is not breaking at all. 2 inches on center on bolts. I got a couple of those holding it in place. So that's how I increased the rudder performance so I'm not slowing downwind. And then, come on over here. What I did here is my swim platform. This bar came all the way down to here. The water line is here. So this thing was constantly getting cruddy with barnacles and saltwater growth and stuff like that. And it had a brace like this. And the brace wasn't that strong. So I eliminated that. Everything is above the water line. This brace here now, instead of, since there's no support holding it down, it's going to have a brace that goes from the top this way on the top. I haven't got it installed yet, but it's basically going to go, this is going to be increased in size, and the brace goes from here to the top so that it holds it from the top. And this way, this whole section here, you notice now, there's nothing below the water line, so it's clean. These exhaust vents over here, these were down lower. They were down here, so they were underwater. You can see the water line was over there, and they would corrode, and they'd get full of crud and barnacles and growth. And not only that, if something ever failed, you'd have a big hole in your boat sinking it. So now they're above the water, and when you run your motor, you can see if water's coming out for the cooling system that's supposed to be working. Same thing with the generator. They're all above the water line. They've all been cleaned and polished. So now they're all clean. So you notice everything below the water line has been completely eliminated. There's only 3 through holes now, 1 for the port engine, 1 for the starboard engine, 1 for the generator. That's it. There's nothing down there. They're all, of course, have valves that shut them, but the reduction in fear that something might fail is great. Not only that, the sink kitchen went below the water line. Come on over here, let me show you something. Right over here was the sink kitchen. these are underneath the water too. And what happens is you get barnacle growth, and you'll be trying to wash your dishes and the water's not coming out, so you have to jump in the water with a screwdriver and constantly be caking those barnacles out. Same thing on the bottom. No sense pointing out. Just lots of these through holes. These are below the water line. These are moved up. This one was over here. This is the bathroom. So now basically, I mean, if you look at the ones that were already higher, like this one was never below, or was it? Oh, that one was moved up too. But anyways, if you look at the ones that were above over here on the front of the boat, these three here, although they're in the black section of the boat, the water line was down here. They never plugged up. They never got clogged. They never had any problems. Well, now everything is up. End of that problem. That's the end of that. Now I got some shaft parts that I'm also upgrading, and a freezer we added upstairs. Let me go show you what I did up there. Oh, okay, here we go. I had to go up and down those steps 10 times a day. That's why that kid earned his motorcycle. He went up and down those steps 10 times a day. Anyways, come on. So the boat's in shipyard mode. Don't mind the mess. These are the beams that I especially had made. These are going to go from the swim platform to the top. They hold it front so it doesn't go down. There's 3 of them, one on each end, and the ladder in the middle. That's what that's going to do. You notice you have to bring a big anchor in, because that big lift, every time it swings past this boat, the space between my boat and that boat is this much. That's no exaggeration. So they got to get it, just split that difference between the 2 boats. They've already hit that boat twice. The only reason I haven't hit mine is because I'm standing out there like this. I'm sure if I wasn't here, I would have had the same battle scars they have. So that's what's going on up here. Here's all those old cleats. And let me show you what I'm doing inside the boat, the upgrades. The only reason we're here is because I'm upgrading luxury items on the boat. Improving shaft systems and through holes, taking those things out. The boat was fine before, but I'm making it better. So that's what's up. So let's show you let's go inside. Okay, I added this freezer. Oh, and in the comments, don't. You can go easy on me in the comments on my gardening gloves. They're free, and if it's free, I don't care if it's pink, blue, yellow, green, whatever. Anyways, we added this freezer. A nice freezer. You guys seen in previous videos when I was fishing, and I was told to stop fishing because I had no place to put the fish. Well, now we got this here, and before where the seat was here, this freezer is the same footprint. You can see on the floor here the marks. It's the same footprint as the chair that was here, so it's just going to be enclosed. It'll be the same size as what was here before, except that this will be a cushion on top, so this whole thing here will become a sleeping quarters. So when you're on long trips, you can lay here, put it out the window, take naps. So that's one of the improvements I made. The also washer and dryer is coming. It's not in yet, but it's going to be installed. Let me show you some other items that I improved upon. Okay, this here is the latest and greatest for my shaft holders. This takes place, let me grab this other one. Hang on 1 second, I'll show it to you. Let me just get it out of the trash. This nasty, ugly thing. This is what used to grip the shafts. And these little set screws are what held the shaft in place. If this set screw came loose and you put the boat in reverse, the shaft would pull out. So these are being replaced with these. These grip the shaft, so the shaft can't slide out. Plus they're stainless steel, not iron. This here takes up the difference in shaft alignment. If you're off by a little bit, it smooths it out. It also acts as a little piece that if you hit something with the prop and the prop stops, this breaks instead of the prop. And there's more to this. Come on over here. This piece here went here. and it put these two things together. Now obviously when I replace the other one, it's going to grip. It'll be the same size with the exception of this much more, but I can slide the shaft back that much more, so it'll be fine. So that's going to replace all of this, and all that nasty oil mess and everything will be gone. That was part of the upgrade that I was here. And there's one more thing in the back. I did packing. I used this packing gland stuff here. Let me show you what it looks like. This stuff here, it's sort of a wax rope. It's square. What you do with this stuff, it's got this slimy, some kind of wax. It goes around the shaft like this. When it goes around the shaft, there's this part that comes together that pushes on it and squeezes it. Let me grab that. Just give me a second here. It's up front. Okay. The way this works is the shaft, that shiny shaft I just showed you down there, goes through here. It comes up on here. This stuff here gets wrapped around the shaft and it sits in that groove. Then when you put this on it, it pushes on that thing between the bottom. See, this doesn't allow it to go all the way through. It stops it. So it sits there like that and it smashes it. When it smashes it, this smooshes and it squishes between the shaft and the wall. And that prevents the ocean water from coming in. Now this requires regular maintenance. And they've been using them forever. But I don't say they've been around for at least 100 years. And it works. But it just requires maintenance. When they leak, you gotta go down there and check them. These things require a little bit of water dripping to prevent them from getting hot, because as the shaft spins on this thing here, it generates heat. It uses the water coming through to dissipate that heat. So when this is down there and your boat's going along, you got a continuous drip of saltwater ocean coming into your boat. That's just how it was. That's how it's always been. The new systems now eliminate this. This is part of the upgrades. They have a different device. It's this half, but and it looks more like this. And on this end, there's a piece that grabs the shaft, and this surface is a ceramic finish. So you eliminate all that, and the ceramic finish rides against that with the shaft, and there's no water leak whatsoever, and they last 8 years, and there's no maintenance. So you don't have a wet bilge that you can pump out with your bilge pump occasionally. Now you have a completely dry bilge. I've installed them in other boats. They work really good. Your bilge gets so dry it gets dusty. So that's the latest edition on that. And the last thing is, these are the ones for the shaft. The ones for the rudder that I showed you outside that added that piece to it. Let me pause the camera. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about my senior brain. I forget about where I was. So anyways, on that one there, on the rudders, the shafts go up and down like this. They're not spinning constantly like a shaft for the motor. They just turn. So those have these same things, but since it's not constantly spinning, you don't get that drip because you don't need to cool it. It's not generating any heat when it's just steering. So I left those originals, but I repacked them. Then upstairs, I did take a seat out. I don't want to go up there right now. It's a long walk, 3 flights up. But I took a seat out, and in the final video, when I do an update on this update, to the updates of whatever updates I do, I'll give you the grand tour and everything's in. And I'll show you all of the stuff that I did. And that was the reason for this haul out. Plus I wanted to go see my son in Virginia. And when I leave my boat for long periods of times, I feel safer if the boat's sitting on land, because obviously it can't sink. And it's just safer. When it's sitting in the water, you get growth on the bottom and stuff like that, and it gets pretty messy. So that's the latest and greatest. The last video, I think I posted a couple little things. Enrique and his motorcycle and all of that. That's all been completed. So that's it, guys. This is just a little short update, and hope you enjoy the videos, and thanks for watching. I'll talk to you again.